Hey, hello, my name is Rograt and welcome back to Caves of QUD. Today this is going to be a short video just with some help for people who are struggling with the early game of Caves of QUD. I see it happen a lot. It can be a difficult game, but I think hopefully I have some tips that I can share with you today. So we're just I'd like to play classic, but honestly you might want to play roleplay mode if you're brand new to the game. We're just gonna go with, we'll build a character, but the character doesn't really matter too much. We'll just grab, I don't know, an apostle, let's say. I'm not gonna take any mutations because that's not the purpose of this video. Although there are some here that you may want to take if you're having trouble. Things like horn or double muscled, corrosive gas, carapace. These are all great. I would say stay away from mental mutations if you're brand new to the game. However, if you do start messing with mental mutations, you might want to consider like temporal fugue or pyrokinesis or cryokinesis, or maybe something like force bubble or force wall. But anyway, first thing I want to talk about, specifically for the early game, like, don't neglect your agility. Like, it's easy to focus on like just strength and toughness. I like to always take at least 18 in both of these. Some of these are more important than others depending on the kind of build you want, but they're all fairly important. For example, I'm gonna go 1 extra point of agility here because what I want to kind of convey is early on having good agility helps a lot, at least in my opinion. We'll just round this. We'll have a perfectly kind of balanced. We'll go a little lower in intelligence here. Okay. We'll do Jopper start just for the sake of this video. So one of the first things that you're going to want to do is, and there are like certain classes that start with ranged weapons. I specifically took the apostle because they don't. You're going to want a ranged weapon. That's really the best thing at the very start, and you're not always guaranteed to get one here. So Tam does have a musket. We can't afford it. However, I would always say buy out all of the ammo because it's basically free. As you can see here, it doesn't really cost anything to take the ammo. You can still loot this room over here as well in Joppa without being caught. Okay, we didn't get anything from that though. So, we don't have any skills, we don't have any ranged weapon. So, let's sneak over to this closest desert tile here. And you're going to want to make sure it's daytime when you do anything in the desert. Now, we are level 1, so this is kind of silly. I normally would recommend trying to level up a little bit beforehand. That's a legendary tortoise. We're not going to go that way. And what we're looking for, those are Scorpiox. We're definitely not going to go that way. And those are Dawn Gliders. We don't want to go any of these ways. These are all rough. So let's go south. Okay, this is clear. This is good. What we're looking for are Issachar Raiders, because those guys are going to have ranged weapons. We're probably not going to be able to necessarily fight them with this character because we are level 1 and we have no skills other than proselytize. Okay, that is where we don't want to go, although I appreciate the huge level up there for doing absolutely nothing. It's actually kind of huge. We'll go agility here. And which weapon did we start with? We have a cudgel, okay. So we'll quickly just grab cudgel just for a little bit of sustain, and bludgeon wouldn't hurt either. Okay, our first victim. There we go. Alright, so we're looking for Issachar Raiders because we're going to want to take their ranged weapon. Because in my opinion, the Issachar rifle is incredibly powerful. Maybe even overpowered depending on when you get one. Similarly, the Chrome Revolver. We seem to have found the most dead desert of all time. So if this happens, if it starts to get dark, press Shift Control W and then G. That will wait until morning. And then you just want to skip like 20 more turns or so by hitting the full stop button on your keypad. Or the period, as you call it in America. Stay away from Dawn Gliders. Okay, here we go. Finally. Let's just lure a couple of these guys down. Let's see if we can proselytize one of them. Yeah, he does not care for us. Alright, let's just step back here and fight this guy in the corner of this map. Beautiful. There you go. You know what? Let's get ourselves a mutation here. Flaming Ray. 100%. There you go. That was a freebie. Right. So we have Flaming Ray now, which is at least a form of ranged attack. Now these guys, these are the guys that we want to kill. These drop the rifle. But they can mess you up really badly, especially if you don't have much health, like us right now. Okay, they are firing. See? Huge damage. Step back. Just see if that guy followed me. He did. Let's absolutely obliterate him. Heal up. Okay, this guy's very close, so we're actually going to kite him downwards. He will follow us. One of the biggest things I want you to take away from this video is that the edge of the map is your best friend. Always stay close to the edge of the map because enemies will chase you. Being near the edge also means that if you get sundered, for example, if somebody tries to use Sunder Mind on you, you're going to break that sunder and you're going to end up surviving because of it. So, there we go. Equip this. And if you have the agility, we don't have the points just yet, but if you want to spec into bow and rifle, you do need at least 19 agility. It's got quite a high requirement, so that's another reason not to ignore agility. Now, just because you can shoot doesn't mean you're going to hit. And again, look, you're going to want to make sure that you stick to the edge of the map, like I said, because that guy hit hard there. And he is following us now. Perfect time to gobble down some witchwood bark. Don't be afraid to use that. Guy dropped a weird artifact as well. Okay, whatever. So yeah, also you do start with witchwood bark. It's not the best, but it's pretty decent for healing before you get any of the late game stuff. So I would say hold on to that. The only downside being it can confuse you. But we're not going to worry about that just now. So now that we have a ranged weapon, this guy again is going to shoot us and do a little bit of damage. We also really don't want to pull those. That Dawn Glider is awfully close. So we're going to sprint here. And hope that he doesn't follow us. You can see we're not the most accurate. We don't have any skill in bow and rifle just yet. But now that we have a bow, we can pretty much... Maybe we found a drone man. Now that we have a bow, we can pretty much just continue on to any of the early game places without too much worry. As long as you can hit, of course, and you're going to want to make sure that, again, you buy as much ammo as possible. But for example, if we go... Probably shouldn't be doing this in the desert, necessarily, because, yeah, we will get lost. But you can go straight to the stilt, because there isn't really going to be much that can mess with you, other than Dawn Gliders. Let's just try and get unlost again. Here we go. Perfect. It's normally a good idea to always explore the ruins. I generally do, especially because there are books, which is kind of what my next point was going to be. Although you may already know this next tip. Here we go. Perfect. Books. Now, they're not the best stuff to read. They just have these little excerpts now, generally. But always grab books. And I mean always. They are pretty much one of the best resources in the game for leveling up. Oh, hello. You can see that the rifle is doing a huge amount of damage compared to melee, at least at this point. I dropped a nice sword as well. I will grab that as a counterweighted steel longsword. Okay, so only 2 books on this map. Sometimes when you find ruins there may be others next to it, but it's not always a guarantee. And it's... I mean, it is in this case, because there's another ruin here, as we can see. Again, wait until morning, anytime you're in the desert. And then grab those books. Grab those 2 books. Keep making our way up. And I think it's a good idea to head to the stilt as early as possible. Okay, if this happens... When you first step onto a tile, if you're next to an enemy like a Dawn Glider will mess you up. On the first turn that you come onto a map, you can step back without it chasing you, but if you go onto that tile again, it will activate. So make sure you stick to the edges, like I said. The edge of the map is your best friend. We found another random ruin. Ooh. This is great. This is going to be worth quite a bit of money. Night vision. Nice. Okay. Thought that was going to be something exciting there. No books from the looks of things. We're no longer lost. Don't worry about getting lost, it's going to happen. If you do get lost, immediately step south. Oftentimes you will, exploring a new map will undo the lost effect. It doesn't always work. But it's easy to just step back and see if it helps. Normally I would kill all of these Issachar raiders because they do give a lot of XP for our level. Wow. Look at this. Oh, okay, that is not good. There are some cursed starts where this guy will be killed. Which is really unfortunate because this guy is a huge source of XP. If this happens, honestly, I would say maybe start again. Reroll your game. Anyway, we did start with a Dromad Trader here, which is always lucky. Oftentimes these guys have really... Yeah, look at this. Flawless gear. That's actually one of the most insane stacks of armor I've ever seen on one of these guys. Like right off the bat. He's got like every piece of armor apart from the helmet and it's all flawless. And 3 Taco Suprema. What the heck? Of course this happens on like a tiny video that I'm just making on a whim. Again, buy the ammo. You always want to go in here, speak to the character here, which is a snail in this instance. Give them the books. You can see books can be traded for XP. There you go. Easy level up. And those are really the biggest tips I can tell you is number 1, get a ranged weapon and make sure that your agility is high enough to be able to use it. Agility also counts for hitting in melee as well. Second tip, stay close to the edge of the map in case you need to fall back. Always have a place to run back to, or have some kind of mutation or cybernetic that allows you to get out of combat, like teleport or a force wall or something like that. And then lastly, grab books, hoard them, trade them in. You can hold the books until the late game and then trade them in, because it gets harder to get XP in the late game from enemies. But I would say if you're just starting, just hand them in immediately, because you're going to oftentimes level up straight away. So those are my 3 tips. Hope they help. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Roguelike. Subscribe for more Caves of QUD, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.